If you've ever played on the Hive, I can almost guarantee that you've encountered someone that was cheating at some point or another. At this point, it's not even uncommon to come across a cheater in most games that you play on the Hive. Obviously, no one likes playing against cheaters, and recently, many members of the Hive community have been asking the Hive to do something about it. Things like making the anti-cheat better and improving their moderation practices are both things that have been suggested by the community, but many players don't realize that it's not exactly that simple. In this video, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth into some of these arguments and try to explain both sides to show why it's not that simple. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're a fan of my content, and enjoy. So, I guess I'll say that I've been asked by a lot of people to make this video. Everyone just expects that if Potato Pie makes a video on it, surely it'll get changed, right? I'll probably keep repeating this for the rest of this video, but again, it's not that simple. The things that I've contributed towards getting changed on the Hive were actually fairly inconsequential, like the Fire Sword. It didn't really change much overall about the game or the server. Meanwhile, large changes to a server's anti-cheat, or how their staff team works, isn't really something that any player, even one with large influence, can do. I just kind of wanted to make that clear at the beginning of this video. Don't expect any changes to come as a result of this. Now, let's get into some discussion about the Hive's anti-cheat. First off, I think it would be a good idea to explain what an anti-cheat is and what it does. Basically, it's a piece of software that runs on a server that detects when it thinks people are cheating, and then takes action accordingly, whether it's reporting it to staff, automatically kicking, or even banning the player. Almost all online multiplayer games have some form of an anti-cheat running, and some are definitely more effective than others. In a popular first-person shooter game called Valorant, their anti-cheat called Vanguard literally looks through the files on your computer to see if there's anything that might assist you in cheating in the game. It's definitely considered to be one of the more effective anti-cheats, but it's also considered to be very intrusive, which has led many people to have concerns about their privacy when playing the game. For the most part though, Minecraft servers don't have that same level of anti-cheat, and it's more of just a server-sided anti-cheat. The server just looks at gameplay and movement and tries to decide that way whether someone's cheating or not. Now, my friend Evident made a video the other day titled Trapping Hive Hackers in Hive Skywars, and the video itself is pretty self-explanatory. After the video, however, I went down to look at some of the comments, and so many of them were just talking about the fact that the Hive just doesn't have an anti-cheat at all. Now, I'm not too sure if people actually believe that the Hive doesn't have an anti-cheat, but let me just tell you that it does. People do actually get detected by the anti-cheat for cheating. It's a crazy concept, right? Literally go watch any Hive staff member's live stream and you'll probably see anti-cheat notifications in their game chat at some point. It really does exist, and it's actually called Flareon. Why is it called Flareon? Probably because one of the owners of the Hive, Clankstar, really likes Pokemon. That's my best guess. Now, from my understanding, it seems like a lot of the Hive community at this point wants the Hive's anti-cheat to become stronger. They want it to be more strict and take faster action against players that it thinks is cheating. However, I'm going to say the line again, it's just not that simple. A stricter anti-cheat would actually have quite a lot of drawbacks. I can say extremely confidently that it's not difficult to get kicked by the Hive's anti-cheat as a normal, non-cheating player, whether intentionally or not. Here's a clip of me trying and succeeding in getting myself kicked by the anti-cheat.
It has to be the one close.
Oh, there we go. Yep. Okay, cool. It's also not too uncommon to get kicked by the anti-cheat when you weren't even meaning to. Here's a pretty funny clip from my friend Falbin's stream a while back. Line block MLG, okay?
Line block MLG. Wait, oh, hold up. Let me get a good view. Okay, I've got a good view. Go. Yo! Hiya.
Oh! Wait, I just got kicked by the anti-cheat. These types of false kicks would probably happen more often if the anti-cheat was more strict. Obviously, it could be coded better to make sure that cheaters get punished by the anti-cheat while regular players don't feel the effects of it, but that's not exactly the easiest thing to do. There's constantly an arms race between anti-cheat developers and cheat developers to try and one-up each other and make sure the other's code is obsolete to theirs. That's something that's always happened and is probably never going to change. However, I do feel like you should give the Hive some credit where credit is due, at least in terms of the anti-cheat. anti-cheat. It does indeed exist, and it does actually work. There's no notification in games that tells you if a cheater has been removed like there is on Hypixel and other servers, but people still do get banned by the anti-cheat. You just don't see it. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that the Hive's anti-cheat can always be improved upon and get better over time, but it's not like it's in a horrible state right now like a lot of people are saying. Still, a server can't only rely on an anti-cheat to get rid of cheaters, and that's where human moderation comes in as well. The Hive has a decent amount of moderators, all of which, quote, deal with players, which basically just means enforcing the rules and kicking and banning people who are cheating or breaking other rules and stuff. Having human moderators is obviously a good thing, and I think the Hive's moderation team is pretty decent. However, some of their moderation policies I really don't agree with at all. One of their main policies that I take issue with is their stance on ban evasion, which is when you make a new account to play on the server with when you get banned. Quite literally, it is not against the rules to play on a new account on the Hive network when you get banned on another account. I feel like it's not difficult to see how this could go wrong. Someone uses cheats while playing on the Hive, gets banned either by the anti-cheat or by a moderator, and then is back 5 minutes later on a new account doing the exact same thing. This happens way more frequently than you would think. The Hive has their own reasoning for this, and I'm not sure I really agree with it, but here's kind of the gist of what they have to say. The Hive has a policy of banning accounts instead of players. If a player's broken the rules previously on a different account and gotten banned, but abide by all the rules on their new account, they're fine with them playing on it. Now, in theory, this should work because, again, in theory, players would learn the rules and know to not break them again. I'm sure in some cases, this is exactly what happens. However, you also have to realize that a lot of players are just going to come back on a new account and keep on continuously breaking the rules. Now, the next logical solution would just be to IP ban people that continuously break the rules and make new accounts, right? I mean, it's basically known that Hive staff can check to see if someone's playing on an alt and what their other alts are, so it's not like it would be difficult to issue an IP ban when it's found out that someone's breaking the rules on multiple accounts. The issue here, though, is that the Hive doesn't IP ban people in almost any circumstance. There are a few exceptions where it does happen, but for the most part, cheaters and constant rule breakers literally don't get IP banned. They can just make new accounts and come back and do the exact same things. Their reasoning for not IP banning people is a little bit more complex. According to Clankstar, a lot of countries change the IPs for their users every day, and every mobile provider also changes IPs for users every day as well. This means that users on these networks would just be able to join the server again on the next day on a new account because that IP wouldn't be banned anymore. I should also probably let you know here that I don't 100% understand how this works, I'm just kind of repeating it as I see it. Regardless, I still feel like while issuing IP bans wouldn't be 100% effective, it would still be more effective than what we've got right now, which is the fact that they don't IP ban people, right? I don't know, I'm sure there's still so much more that goes on behind the scenes that I and almost every player doesn't know about, but this is just me looking at it from an outsider's perspective. Now, one more thing, the Hive actually is adding an in-game reporting system eventually. It's been on the Hive's public roadmap for a while, and it's currently in the coming next section, which means that we'll see it at some point soon, TM. We all know that the Hive likes to take their time with updates, so who knows when we'll actually see it, it'll be out when it's ready. But either way, in-game reporting is definitely going to be a good thing for the Hive to help cut down on the amount of hackers and cheaters that we see in-game in the future. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction for a player to easily be able to report someone in-game instead of having to go all the way to the Discord to do it. With all of that being said, however, that's pretty much all I've got to discuss for this video. I definitely hope that we can see the Hive's anti-cheat improve as time goes on, but I also hope that the community can see that it's not that simple to just fix the anti-cheat. I'm also hoping that maybe we'll start to see moderation make a little bit more sense in the future as well, but we'll just have to wait and see on all of these things. If you have any thoughts or opinions on what I said in this video, let me know in a comment. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Most of the time, I make content very similar in style to this, so if you like this video, I bet you'll like my others as well. Also, before we end, I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my YouTube channel members. They support me for $4.99 a month, and they get some cool perks like getting their name displayed at the end of every video, and if you'd like to become a channel member, you can do so by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button or by clicking the members link in the description. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.